Story of the Taming of the Shrew, it's about two sisters. The eldest is really mean and curmudgeonly, and the youngest is very beautiful and very sweet. And this takes place in the city of Padua in Italy. There's a whole bunch of wealthy suitors that really want to marry the youngest daughter, whose name is Bianca, but Bianca's father wouldn't let Bianca get married until the eldest daughter, Catherine, was first wed. So the suitors track down my character, Petruchio, who is just new to Padua and is looking for a wife. They pay him off to try and woo Catherine. I don't exactly woo her, but I do get her mother's blessing to marry her.
Meanwhile, the suitors are fighting over Bianca. Everybody's in disguise so that they can hang out with her and pretend to be teachers and stuff. That doesn't go well because once you start pretending to be somebody's father and then the real father shows up, then things get messy and people almost die. Anyway, Bianca secretly marries Lucentio, who's been disguised as her English teacher.
So Bianca's a fun one. First of all, she's very much a pick-me girl, enjoys the attention, but I think underneath that's how she learned to deal with her sister, with her mom too. She kind of had to, be the pretty one, the always obedient and kind and sweet one, to still be loved and survive in this world of hers.
Petruchio is a very passionate person. When he wants something, he just goes after it, and he doesn't let anyone else stop him. It really drives forward a lot of the show. It can also cause problems, of course, because when he's just relentlessly going after something, he can be a bit of a hothead. That's something that he kind of has to work through as the show goes on.
Doing Shakespeare again was so good. I felt like I barely scratched the surface last year. It was so good to find more of actually using your voice and your words with the meaning that they have, and your authentic voice. And through that, telling the story was really helpful and a very much a learning process for me.
So I remember I was telling people after, oh, are you gonna miss it? And I'm well, it was really difficult up until the very end because it's so hard to balance what are the right words that come next and what's my cue and what's my entrance and all of that, which is why you rehearse until the show, and then you can let all of that go, defenestrate it, and play with the show and with the language. By the end, I got to the point where I wasn't thinking about what the words were, but I was thinking about putting the pink in pink and painting pictures with these words and telling the story and getting the audience on my side and having fun.
There are a lot of really interesting themes in Taming of the Shrew, and I'd really say that kind of the most important theme in the show is sort of the relationship between men and women, and how when either the man or the woman or both aren't really behaving in the way that they're meant to, it really causes everything to go awry.
You've got true love as opposed to, say, attraction. There's actually a beautiful moment where he tells her, you don't need fancy clothes to be beautiful. I love you for you.
I think this adaptation was very unique in the sense that Caitlin was very good at managing to find the right tone where it's not kind of what's generally thought of, that it's anti-female or anti-women and oppressive. She managed to find the right tone where it's actually quite the opposite. I mean, in the end, Catherine does scold the other women. It's a good kind of scolding where it's almost like a healthy parenting. You learn to become more virtuous, and sometimes you need to call out things to get better and improve.
It really stands out as a comedy where it's not just all slapsticks and funny hijinks. It has a lot of heart to it, and all the characters, even though they're all odd in their own way, they still feel very much like real people.
The show, while being controversial, I think is so important to do because there's a way where you do it wrong, but I think also the way Shakespeare intended it, there's a way where you illustrate, like I said before, the beauty of the sacramentality of marriage and true love and what that looks like and what it does not look like.
I think that there's just so much humanity present. You'd expect this kind of depth that the text has for its characters in a drama. The lightheartedness is balanced out by the fact that these do feel like real people. They want something, and there is just so much beauty there.